Hi everyone, my name's Mike and welcome to the video. This video is going to be a bit different because what I've done is I've gone back over some of the old footage that I've got sitting on my hard drive, and the reason I've done that is because we're waiting for a few bikes to drop. So the 450 Himalayan that we're going to be doing has only been PDI'd today, so that's going to be a week or so before we can have a ride on that. And the Stelvio, we're waiting for that to become available, and also the weather's been a bit on and off really, and it's not quite ready for get the classic bikes out. So this is a piece of footage I took probably about 18 months ago, and the story behind it is Andy, who's one of the Lemon Drizzle gang, who you don't see much on film because he doesn't like getting on film. So he bought an MT10 Yamaha because we were doing a trip we took the boat over to northern Spain, crossed the Pyrenees and went up through France. So we had a great holiday, group ride, the Lemon Drizzle day out, week out, whatever, annual holiday. So he chose this MT10 to take, but Andy being Andy, he is a serial bike buyer and he's a serial bike fiddler as well. So he wanted to make it sound a little bit more fruity. So he'd gone away, or he was going away to Tunisia with his partner. So he asked me if I could do the upgrade on it for him. So I agreed because I enjoy doing that sort of thing. I'm not a great lover of decatting bikes for various reasons. I'm a bit of a greenie at heart, but there you go, it's what Andy wanted. So what we did was we took the catalyst off, put a link pipe on, so it was a Black Widow link pipe and a Akropovich pipe on it. I think it was an Akropovich, it could have been a Yoshimura, no, I think it was an Acro. I'll have to check. Yeah, and we also had it remapped. So it was a place in Preston that remapped the ECU to match the modifications that we made. And the bike we ended up with was, as my dad used to say, a right ball terror of a thing. It was a rocket ship. So what I did was, I had the bike for a few weeks. So I took it for a ride in North Wales before we did the mods, and then I took it for a ride after we did the mods. And I've kind of munged the two bits of film together so that you can hear me riding the same piece of road on a standard bike, and then it suddenly jumps into the modified. And it's just to give you an impression of the difference in the sound. And I suppose the point of the video is it something we should be doing? Is it something we want to be doing? Because when I was riding the bike to do the second piece of film with all the modifications done on it, it was so loud. I had to ride through a little town called Ruthin on the way there, lovely little sleepy town, and I was having to go through on tick over because it's just so loud. I was embarrassed to touch the throttle. And also when we went to France, nobody'd go behind Andy because it was ear bleeding just to follow behind him. So hopefully it'll come across in the video, the noise. It actually sounds fantastic, you know, it sounds great, but it's just so loud. And in fact Andy found it too loud, and when he came back from Spain he actually got rid of the bike. It wasn't just the loudness, but there were other things he wasn't too keen on. He's more of a sports bike rider. He actually owns the K1300 and the Hayabusa that I videoed last year. So yeah, it was a bit. He's got a speed triple now, and we'll see how he gets on with that. But yeah, so it's just too much. And we live in we live in North Wales, sleepy little village in North Wales, and on a Sunday you can hear the bikes going past, and some of them are so loud. It mainly seems to be V4 Aprilias that you hear. Oh, that's the sound. It's like that V4. It could even be the cross plane crank Yamahas like the MT10, but that sound really carries. But anyway, draw your own conclusions. I just thought it was interesting to put up. I'm not a great lover of loud pipes, you know. I don't believe in the loud pipes save lives. I know you hear a lot of Harley riders saying loud pipes save lives. Well, I don't think they do, because you're not going to hear them. If you're riding one in traffic, you're not going to hear the noise until you've passed it. So anyway, so there you go. That's my take on it. So the question is, do we decat and pipe, or do we just leave as standard? So I'll stop waffling on as I usually do. Oh, the guy who I mentioned in the last video who said more vroom vroom, less blah blah, he wasn't Scandinavian, as I said. He's actually Dutch, so many apologies. So okay, with that, on with the show. So this is before we did any mods to the bike. It's completely standard, except we put that screen on it, and also done a sprocket and chain change on it, new sprocket. But I think it sounds alright. I really like the sound of this. Have a listen to it. Some people find this too quiet, but I actually liked it. I thought he got the you know, that cross-plane crank sound. But now listen, after the decat, it's loud. It sounds like a MotoGP bike, which is a real fruity sound, but too much for me. Anyway, have a listen. No design, it sounds fruity. There's some clips coming up in a minute where I took from the side of the road, and you can actually hear better. So what do you guys think? Standard